Mysterious death of a 17-year-old beauty on the night before Halloween. Who is involved? Don't miss out. The victim's ghost will reveal the entire truth to the psychics. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate tangled criminal cases and incredible mystical anomalies. Less than a month ago, in a neighborhood not far from the center of a small Ukrainian town, Nataliya Shcherbach, a 17-year-old first-year university student, was found hanged. The town was immediately flooded with wild rumors, and the media swirled with shocking theories about her death.
Murderous Halloween. 17-year-old bloody bride found hanged. Suicide or punishment for a rebellious fiancé? Costumed girl ends her life.
Nataliya was indeed engaged, but she was wearing neither a Halloween costume nor a wedding dress. She was found hanging in ordinary jeans and a jacket.
According to the official police version, Nataliya committed suicide, allegedly due to unrequited love.
But her parents, Nadia and Mykola, refused to believe their daughter committed suicide. She was absolutely happy. She had just moved to town to study and dreamed of becoming a teacher.
She couldn't have done it. There was no reason for that.
Nataliya was engaged and had even chosen names for her and her fiancé's, Volodymyr, potential children.
She said she wanted to name them Uliana or Oksana.
She dreamed about the wedding. She wanted to be the most beautiful bride.
Nadia and Mykola are convinced their daughter was murdered and the suicide was staged.
The knot was tied so tightly. How could she even tie it like that?
It was tied by a professional. It looked too complex.
What haunts them further are the bruises and scratches they saw on Nataliya's body.
There was a mark, like a fingerprint on her arm, right around here.
Her neck was scratched all over, like someone caught her with the rope and dragged her.
Like she was dragged somewhere and then hanged.
It was a cold night, and she was dressed in basically summer clothes, just a light jacket made of faux leather.
To find out what truly happened to their daughter, her parents reached out to the psychics just days after her death. Taking on the investigation of Nataliya's mysterious death are medium Dilara Saparova and clairvoyant Olga Kalinova.
I see a terrifying image of a dead bride. A girl in a white wedding gown slowly turning red, as if it's soaking in blood.
I see a girl dressed completely in black, but she's not mourning anyone. It's just her everyday outfit. She's staring at a building engulfed in flames. She's overwhelmed with guilt, believing the fire was her fault. There's deep emotional pain within her.
Dilara Saparova and Olga Kalinova arrive in the village where Nataliya spent most of her life. Her mother is already waiting for them.
Hello, come in.
Stand up, stand up.
As soon as I entered Nataliya's house, I felt unwell. I was afraid because the girl, in life, was flirting with, or even playing with, death.
What do the psychics' strange sensations mean?
I see many people, moving constantly, walking around all the time.
Yes, there's a market nearby.
And there are also some abandoned buildings.
Garages, and yes, an abandoned house.
And I hear booming, like church bells ringing.
There's a church nearby.
The psychics described the exact location where the body was found. It's almost in the town center. Nataliya's parents have no idea what she could be doing here. She had been living in a rented apartment on the outskirts. That night, she was preparing for class and wasn't going to go out.
I spoke to her, and she was cheerful and happy.
But the next morning, Nataliya was found hanged. What really happened that terrible night?
I see the girl. Her presence here is very strong. She's smiling at you.
Your daughter has just come closer to you.
I felt like someone was standing near me.
I see a man, and the man is clutching his chest. He seems terrified.
He found her.
We're standing at the site where Nataliya's body was discovered by the owners of house number 94. The homeowner stepped outside at around 5 a.m. and saw a girl's silhouette right behind his gate.
You know, your daughter's spirit doesn't want to speak about her death. We need to go to the cemetery.
We'll need to perform a ritual. Spirits, rise and help us. What happened?
I sense a young man. Average height, fair-haired, and fair-eyed. His heart is racing. He's deeply nervous.
It's like this guy already knew about Nataliya's death before anyone else did. He was someone she knew, and she had feelings for him.
That's the guy she was dating.
Volodymyr, Nataliya's fiancé, was the first person to raise the alarm.
Around midnight, Nataliya's father, Mykola, received a call from her boyfriend, Volodymyr. He said Nataliya wasn't answering her phone and was worried that something bad might have happened.
He asked me to call her landlady, claiming something might have happened to Nataliya. I immediately called home and told my wife, "Nadia, call the landlady and call me back." When she did, she said, "No, she's not there."
Could Volodymyr somehow be involved in Nataliya's death?
I was shown that for Nataliya, this wedding was meant to be life-changing. Had she married, she would have broken some powerful chains that had long held her back.
But the wedding never happened. Volodymyr insists that around 11 p.m., he spoke to Nataliya on the phone. According to him, she had left her apartment and was heading somewhere unknown.
They were speaking by phone, and then the call dropped. Didn't he know where she was going?
They had a fight.
Yes, we argued often, over little things mainly. She got upset with me. When I told her, "I love you," she hung up. I kept calling, but she didn't pick up.
Volodymyr claims that Nataliya just hung up and never answered his calls again.
I saw Nataliya leave her apartment as if drawn by something. She was entranced, like a zombie.
Volodymyr says that during their final conversation, Nataliya didn't seem like herself. When she stopped answering, he began to panic.
He was terrified of losing her. He truly loved her, but she felt something different.
Volodymyr loved Nataliya more than she loved him.
She wasn't sure if it was love or not.
Yes, there was something like that between them.
She said, "I'm tired of this relationship. I want to break up. That's it."
You know, I asked if he was really involved in Nataliya's death, and the answer was no. He wasn't.
From what we've learned, the night Nataliya died, Volodymyr was at home, in the village 300 kilometers away from the town.
I was at a friend's place.
Nataliya began showing herself in a white wedding dress. She tried it on the same day she died. She was preparing for something. She says, "I want to be a dead bride."
One of Nataliya's friends, Irina, confirmed that on the day of her death, Nataliya really did say she wanted to be a dead bride. The girls were going to celebrate Halloween the following day.
She asked, "What would you be for Halloween?" I said, "A cat." "And you?" She answered, "I like the dead bride idea." We looked at makeup tutorials, went to a second-hand shop to find tulle for the veil, bought black nail polish. It was fun.
On one of her social media accounts, Nataliya even posted a photo of how she wanted to look.
I saw Nataliya flirting with death. At first glance, it might seem like just a harmless joke, but such things carry powerful energy.
The most terrifying part is that Nataliya now appears in dreams to her loved ones and friends in the image of the dead bride.
It feels like she's out there somewhere, in that white dress.
It's like she's in a blood-stained wedding gown.
What does all this mean? The wish to be a dead bride on Halloween, the bloody bridal photos online, and these haunting dreams. How are they connected to Nataliya's tragic death?
Your daughter is calling me to the place where the tragedy occurred.
Can we go there?
Of course we can.
Come on then.
The psychics head to the location where Nataliya died. It's nearly 100 kilometers away. Her father, who had just ended his shift at work, joins the investigation.
Good evening.
Hello.
This is the tree where Nataliya was found hanged.
I feel awful here. This place is horrible. I want to scream and cry. God, help me. I feel really bad.
My legs nearly gave out.
Then I was shown an image. A woman dressed in dark clothing like a nun. She lived in this area. She fell in love with a man and spent a few nights with him, but then he left her. The nun was filled with guilt for having betrayed God. I see her standing before a building, and it's on fire. And the poor soul believed it happened because of her as a punishment.
But what does that mean? What does it have to do with the death of 17-year-old Nataliya?
Nadia, come closer to us.
Dilaram seems to be entering a trance-like state. She says that's when she receives the clearest visions. What will the Kazakh clairvoyant uncover?
I can't. I saw that dark-dressed woman again. She's wandering nearby and she's ashamed. And you won't believe what she does. She hangs herself.
Who is this woman in black, and how is she connected to Nataliya's death?
Something just ran by.
I feel like someone was over there.
There's a presence near us. A woman. It's soaking in blood adult. She looks to be over 50 years old. And she wants to help. She's a relative of Nataliya's, but she's not alive. I also saw a rope.
I think that's my husband's mother. She died around that age, about 50.
14 years ago, Nataliya's 52-year-old paternal grandmother, Valentina, was found hanged in her own home. Allegedly, she took her own life out of grief over her late husband.
The grandmother was always by Nataliya's side, watching over her, and before her granddaughter's death, she tried desperately to stop it.
Who was Nataliya's grandmother trying to save her from?
I need a moment to pull myself together. That woman in black kept appearing before my eyes. But when I looked closer at her face, I realized it was actually Nataliya's face. I couldn't believe it. I felt completely lost. Could you all please step away? I can't control myself right now. It's overwhelming.
I swear I felt someone there. Honestly, I was so scared. It felt like someone was behind me.
Half an hour later, the psychics returned to the parents and continued the investigation.
On her last day, Nataliya was trying to meet up with some young man.
He was a bit older than your daughter. They met not long before her death and were immediately drawn to each other.
About a month and a half before the tragedy, Nataliya met a local young man, also named Volodymyr.
They met, and he gave her flowers, red roses.
They really liked each other. But after a few weeks, Nataliya turned him down.
Because she still wanted to be with her fiancé. Nataliya was still so young, only 17 years old. She truly thought she was in love and was ready for marriage, but then she met another boy and she was caught between two fires. Her parents had raised her with strong morals, so for her, cheating on her fiancé was unthinkable. That's why she refused to start anything new. But you know, despite rejecting him, she still had feelings for him. Some part of her loved him. She was torn.
She was caught between both. She met that Volodymyr, but she still had her fiancé. She just didn't know whom to choose.
And on the day she died, that boy was already with someone else. It seems that when she came here, her mind was clouded. It wasn't drugs. It wasn't alcohol. She knew she had been here before. People always return to places they've been in past lives.
And suddenly, I understood why I kept seeing the woman in black, the one who took her own life somewhere near here. I saw her in her past life, in confinement, but by her own will. Like a nun who's renounced worldly life. Long, long ago, 200 or 300 years ago, she made a vow to God. But then she met a man and broke that vow. They were together. And afterward, she was consumed by guilt. And then I saw flames. She believed the building burned down as punishment, and that God had condemned her.
She took that fire as a divine punishment, and unable to bear the guilt, she hanged herself.
We spoke to the locals and historians. It turns out that nearly 300 years ago, there really was a convent in this town, and it burned multiple times.
In 1670, a women's monastery was founded here. History records two major fires that devastated the town, and the consequences were catastrophic.
The second fire claimed many lives, including at the Dormition Women's Monastery.
The nuns lived in wooden cells. So many perished in the flames.
As for the possibility of a nun's suicide, the historians explain the following.
Taking one's own life is a grave sin. If such a thing occurred in a monastery, the entire monastery would have to be reconsecrated. And traditionally, what happened inside the convent stayed there. It was the abbess's duty to preserve purity and sanctity.
In her past life, Nataliya was a nun, but she sinned and spent a night with a man. Though before that, she lived in full accordance with God's will. So after her suicide, God didn't leave her soul wandering the earth, as is believed to happen with others, and gave her another chance to atone.
But how could what happened to Nataliya in her past life relate to her present-day death?
In her past life, she betrayed God. So in this life, she was haunted by dark forces.
Those dark spirits kept trying to lure her from the righteous path. The only way out was for her to marry. That's why she longed for it, to start a family and have children.
She left her apartment, a rope in her hand. She wandered the town and came here by instinct.
I sensed that on the day and at the moment of Nataliya's death, all otherworldly forces were activated. She triggered them herself by toying with death when she decided to become the dead bride. She hanged herself, and she did it alone.
Mysterious death of a beautiful flight attendant. Her husband is shocked. His beloved was killed in their own house while he was in the other room. Who committed a terrible crime? You will not believe when find out the name of the killer. The psychics will investigate a mysterious murder of a beautiful flight attendant. The project's crime specialist carries out the investigation alongside them.
The body of 34-year-old flight attendant Nataliya Shcherbach was found in the apartment she rented on the 6th of May at about midnight. A head injury with subsequent cerebral hemorrhage was indicated as the cause of her death.
I can't believe she's gone. It constantly seems she's about to come in, hug me and say, "Mom, I'm back."
Nataliya and her husband Roman rented accommodation in a 2-story building in Kiev's single-family neighborhood. A day before her murder, Nataliya returned home after a lengthy foreign trip. The next day, she and her husband were going to visit her parents in Zhytomyr Oblast.
Waiting for your child to come to visit you, but then learning she'll never come is terrible.
Nataliya's husband, Roman, was the only suspect. Her friends and relatives argue it's impossible, as the spouses never quarreled.
It was true, sincere love. She loved him so much.
She always called him Romchik. She even never called him Roman.
She dreamed of owning an apartment of her own, and she wanted to give birth to a baby.
Not long before the tragedy, Roman and Nataliya bought an apartment. While his wife was on constant trips, Roman was improving the apartment himself. Nobody could even think the couple's plans would never come true.
In his evidence, the suspect claims that he and his wife spent the whole Saturday, the 6th of May, at home. After midday, Nataliya went to take a shower, and he went to the kitchen to rest and watch TV.
Roman heard the roar of water in the bathroom. Then the door banged, and someone walked through the apartment. The man was confident it was his wife who went out of the bathroom.
After a while, Roman entered the room and shut the window, which happened to be wide open. There he saw Nataliya lying in the bed with her head under the sheet. He thought she was sleeping and decided not to disturb her.
At 5 in the evening, Nataliya's parents phoned. Roman answered the phone.
She said she was sleeping, having a rest.
Roman suggested he would wake his wife up, but her parents told him not to. They said they'd wait for them to come tomorrow. Roman says he hadn't noticed anything suspicious in the room where his wife was sleeping, neither at that moment nor later. So he hung up and came back to the kitchen, where he spent some more time watching TV. Afterward, he joined his wife in the bedroom and went to bed.
That evening, Nataliya's mother-in-law called her to greet her with the return.
At around 11 in the evening, the landlady came to check on them. The apartment door was unlocked. The spouses were lying in bed.
The husband says he woke up to the neighbor's scream and was shocked to find his wife dead. Roman and the landlady immediately called the police and an ambulance.
The shocked man was taken to the police station.
The owners of the apartment, who spent all that day at home, also claimed they didn't hear anything.
Our expert found an odd detail in the case. The flight attendant's jewelry was gone.
The money that Nataliya had earned and brought to invest in the home improvement and her jewelry are gone. We checked all the boxes, but they were empty.
If it was burglary, then why would someone need to kill her? It would be enough to stun her. And how did the murderer choose the right moment when Nataliya was in the bathroom and her husband was in the kitchen?
She could have been killed to set Roman up, and he was purposefully made the suspect.
It's weird. Roman is an ordinary courier. He lived an ordinary, quiet life.
If someone's really trying to set Roman up, then who is it and why are they doing it? What also concerns me is why neither Nataliya's husband nor her neighbors heard no screams.
Psychic Kayal Alekbarov, who was supposed to arrive in Kyiv from Azerbaijan, faced an insurmountable obstacle.
Tears down roofs and breaks trees. The second-level danger has been announced in 16 oblasts.
Airports delayed all flights. And 3 people suffered from the terrible hurricane in cities.
Coincidence or not, but I suddenly heard the jinn's voice saying, 2 more women suffered because of the murderer. Find them.
Kayal Alekbarov could only make it to Kyiv 2 days later.
On board the plane, I saw a flight attendant who resembled Nataliya a lot. But the thing is that she then disappeared.
What do you mean?
During the boarding, 2 attendants greeted me, and one of them, the one who looked like Nataliya, told me as I was passing her, "Release Mom." There were people behind me, so I went straight on board. But I never saw the same attendant later. After the plane took off, I went to the cabin crew compartment, hoping to find her there. Is there another attendant apart from you, a blonde one?
She's a spirit. You saw a ghost.
And what could her strange words, "Release Mom," mean?
An hour later, the psychics were at the house where Nataliya lived. They'd arranged a meeting with the murdered flight attendant's relatives here.
No sooner had we got off the bus when a spirit of some woman emerged next to us. I approached her and almost fainted. It was Nataliya's mother.
It was the first time something like this happened at the project.
Nataliya's mother died before we could arrive to investigate her only daughter's murder.
On the eve of the meeting, the grief-struck woman went to bed and never woke up. Her heart stopped in the middle of the night. During this interview, Lyudmila was seen alive for the last time.
I don't even know how to take it all.
Only the father stayed alive in this once happy family. But at that moment, he was busy preparing for yet another funeral together with Nataliya's friends and family.
There was simply nobody to join us in the investigation. All we had was a photo of the deceased young woman her mother had given us.
Jana, what's Nataliya's mother's spirit telling you?
Help me.
The jinns say, "Mission incomplete." I guess I know what they mean. Souls of people who have an incomplete mission, left after death, often stay in our world and can't pass to the netherworld until they finish it.
Nataliya's mother's spirit won't be able to go to the other world to reunite with her daughter until we find the murderer.
This is exactly what deceased Nataliya told me on the plane. Release Mom.
Having decided to investigate the case by themselves, the psychics are trying to enter the house in which Nataliya lived.
We knocked on the gate and rang the bell, but the owners never opened, though I felt they were inside.
I see the picture. Nataliya's attacked from behind. It's a man. But Nataliya can't see the murderer. The murderer was hitting professionally. He's a master of some kind of martial art.
The victim's friends who came for the identification say Nataliya's whole body was covered with strange bruises.
Her jaw was apparently either broken or twisted.
The examination concluded Nataliya's body had taken over 100 hits with something blunt.
At a certain point, Nataliya turns her head to the murderer. But it's like she doesn't see him, as if he hypnotized her.
Did Nataliya really fall victim to a murderer with hypnotizing abilities?
I suddenly had a vision, a phone in the murderer's hand with the camera on. Nataliya was unconscious, but the criminal continued to beat her, filming it with his phone. The jinns say she could have been killed earlier. She was in countries where there was war and gun and drug trade.
Nataliya's late mother indeed mentioned something similar in her last interview.
Many people didn't agree to those night flights she did because she flew with a Saudi Arabia airline and they could be downed any time. Her last employment was in Africa, 2 months before her death.
It turned out that a year after Nataliya's murder, 2 more Ukrainian flight attendants were murdered in the Afghan capital. Unknown men broke into the hotel where they were staying and shot them.
The awful tragedy has been classified as a terrorist act, but the murderers' motifs and names remain unknown.
I couldn't understand whether the deaths of those 2 flight attendants and Nataliya were connected. Nataliya brought some packages from her trips.
What?
Some same-size boxes with something white inside.
It was some business. But she was deceived?
Flight attendant Nataliya indeed registered small-size packages. However, I couldn't find out what exactly those packages contained.
She had some awful secret. She never confessed to her parents or friends.
Who could know of this business?
Mom. I feel Nataliya's mom knew of this business. But I also feel those strange packages from abroad aren't connected to her murder.
We decided to check the psychic's words and find answers in the victim's mother's interview.
She brought bed sheets and towels for us and herself. Then they decided they could send it as luggage to earn extra.
But then I asked my book if the murder of those 2 other flight attendants was related to her death. And the answer was no. Jana, I have a feeling the neighbors saw the murderer. When we approached the neighboring buildings, I saw another entrance to Nataliya's house through the backyard. Jana, come on. Hello. We knocked, but you probably didn't hear.
Go away. I don't need your psychics here. Get lost!
This woman found Nataliya dead in the bed. But what was the reason for her reaction to the psychics?
We just wanted to ask you something about Nataliya.
What do you want to ask me? What?
You could possibly see or hear something unusual on the day Nataliya was murdered. Did you happen to see somebody leave their apartment?
She should have raised her daughter properly instead of doing bars and laying men. Tell her mother this.
What are you trying to say?
Get out of here.
Shocked by such a reaction, the psychics returned to the house where the victim lived.
Hold up. I hear a voice. This is her mother again. She says, there's a woman who warned her daughter she'd be killed.
I see a letter. My feelings say the woman who wrote this letter was somehow connected with Nataliya's husband.
A wedding ring. A wedding ring. Maybe he had another wife?
It was indeed Roman's second marriage. His first wife's name is Svetlana, and they even have a daughter.
Look, could Nataliya's murder be somehow connected with her husband's first wife? We need her contacts.
The crime specialist quickly found Roman's ex-wife's contact information, and the psychics arranged a meeting with her.
I felt you knew Nataliya.
I met her at the court. I sued my ex-husband to get an increase in the child support he pays. It's just that I knew this man. I know who he is and how he behaves.
Do you mean Nataliya's husband?
Yes.
What's wrong with him?
I just wanted to tell her she'd better stay away from him.
However, all the victims' friends claim Roman and Nataliya were head over heels in love.
He's kind, good-hearted, and sympathizing. He'll always come to the rescue, and he'll always help.
He tried to strangle me, but I defended myself. I ran out of the room and locked in the bathroom.
I couldn't believe it. Could Roman really be the murderer?
He's not the one he claims to be. When he inflamed, I don't know what to call this state. He couldn't stop.
I felt Svetlana wasn't the last woman Roman tried to kill.
After Roman divorced Svetlana, he spent several years living with another woman.
He lived with a young woman named Katerina. She gave birth to a baby, but he claimed she'd cheated on him as he never planned to have another child. He said he already had one, and he didn't need more.
Does it mean Roman didn't want to have children? Then how about his and Nataliya's plan to have a baby?
He broke a flower pot on Katerina's head in the bathroom. He strangled her. Katerina was simply lucky to run out of the house in winter, in home slippers and a gown.
At that moment, I felt he'd also beaten Nataliya and did it all the time. He knew how to injure in a way that left no traces.
He graduated from a school of Olympic reserve. He did freestyle wrestling, so he always said, "I know where to punch and how to do it."
This is shocking. But why didn't Nataliya simply leave Roman?
He's always been good at persuasion. He's like a python, and you behave like a rabbit in his presence. He's always had this gift.
This man seems to have a gift. It's like he hypnotized her.
There's something about him. It's like hypnosis. He knew how to press people morally. He said, "Who needs you? Look at yourself." And I believed him.
The man realized such a beautiful and successful woman as Nataliya would soon have somebody else. But Roman couldn't let his wife leave him because he lived at her expense.
Later, it turned out Roman's courier work was delivering bed sheets Nataliya brought from abroad around the city.
When Nataliya came back home, she saw all her money and jewelry were missing. Roman stole them and took them somewhere while his wife was absent. I feel that on the day of the murder, Nataliya decided to leave Roman.
The cards say, "You could watch this murder again and again."
Yes. Amidst all this madness, he filmed all of it and then uploaded it online.
Svetlana heard this information during a private conversation at the police station. But how come the neighbors heard nothing?
The neighbors seemed to be hypnotized too. Roman convinced them that Nataliya cheated on him while he was a model family man. The man did all those terrible things to Nataliya when he was drunk.
He looked totally sane and made an impression of a cultured, educated man. But when he drank, he lost his mind. It's like alcohol let him off the leash.
After a long trial, Roman was eventually sentenced to 9 years in prison for the murder of his wife.
At that moment, Nataliya's mother's spirit emerged. Nataliya's mother says, "I finally know the truth. The truth my darling daughter was trying to protect me from."
She always tried not to upset us. She always hid all her problems.
We accomplished her unfinished mission, and now her spirit can go to the netherworld to reunite with her daughter. Svetlana, thank you so much for what you did. Few people would find the courage to warn someone they don't know about danger.
I just don't want anybody else to be hurt. That's it.
It's hard to believe such a monster was hiding behind the mask of a loving family man. This is yet another proof that domestic violence must never be concealed. Love and revenge from the underworld. The ghost of a mother will come to protect her children from a rival. This story began at the project's editorial office, where Ukrainian clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova brought a portrait of a woman she had drawn herself. She thinks the woman is in grave danger.
I saw a dead man reaching out for the woman. who was alive. I'd like to ask you to search for this woman's photo among the letters. We must rescue her. Did she or her family contact us?
Finding somebody by their portrait is almost impossible, but we tried our best. Unfortunately, it brought no results, but how shocked we were when later the woman from the clairvoyant's picture knocked on our door.
I need your psychic's help badly. Some otherworldly force is haunting me.
The woman says she constantly sees some dead man in her dreams. He rises from his coffin and reaches out for her.
He stands above me and says, "Follow me." And then I wake up because I can't breathe.
After Kvitoslava first saw the man in the dream, a billboard got torn off by the wind and fell on her on the street.
Yeah, I was walking along the street when the heavy metal billboard fell from the store.
The several dozen kilogram board cut Kvitoslava's leg, and she hardly avoided staying disabled.
I constantly find myself on the brink between life and death.
Kvitoslava was also in a car crash. She suffered from internal hemorrhage as a result of the impact, and the medics barely saved her. Then she was almost killed by electricity while she was turning on her iron, which was in good condition. The desperate woman asks the psychics to help, as she's afraid her children may stay orphans.
I don't want to die. I can't imagine them living without me.
The journalists of the project called Yaroslava Fedorova promptly, and she was at the office an hour later.
I see a mirror. First, you see a shadow in the mirror.
Yes. What I saw was something transparent, and it looked like a tall man.
And then the mirror, it's smashed. It's like somebody's trying to get out of it.
That mirror almost killed my son.
The big mirror was hanging in their apartment's corridor for years. Kvitoslava's 8-year-old son was putting on his jacket in front of it before going to school. The boy didn't even touch the glass. Then, all of a sudden, it shattered, and razor-sharp fragments began to pelt him.
I'm afraid to lose my children or leave them all alone.
Why do I see you in a wedding dress which is black?
I had a dream about it. I was standing in front of the mirror in the wedding dress, but it wasn't white but black and gray.
Hold on, there's a scar on your ring finger where the wedding ring is supposed to be.
It was burnt all over and was completely red here. I had a dream about the man. He put a ring on my finger and then started dragging me underground. Like, he opened the asphalt and began pulling me.
So, you're now engaged. Dreams of engagement with someone dead mean imminent death. And then the cards showed that the man was bound to the woman through her wedding. Do you have any photos from the wedding?
I do, but back home.
I needed to work with those photos.
The next day, Yaroslava Fedorova and her colleague, Jana Shulakova, went to Jitomir, where Kvitoslava lived.
Some otherworldly entity is haunting her, and I feel it's a man.
I see a woman and she's very outraged.
Is she angry with Kvitoslava?
Yes. Wait, could it be the woman you saw in your dream? I mean, the woman the cards are showing me.
No, they're different women.
I have the woman, you've got the man, something doesn't match.
Do you mean one of us could be wrong?
I don't know.
The clairvoyants are walking to the door of the building where Kvitoslava lives, but Jana Shulakova suddenly stops.
Jana, who do you see?
I see a young woman who is very similar to Kvitoslava. She says, the kids are alone. And then a train hits her.
Could it be her future?
It might be, but I would rather not tell her this. It will only scare her more.
In this photo, I see two men next to you. One is alive and the other is dead. It's the man from my dream.
At that moment, Kvitoslava's cat entered the room. She was nervous and kept meowing as if trying to tell us something.
My cat never mews, but now she won't stop.
The cat feels everything. This is female energy, I'm sure.
Look, but I still see it's supposed to be a man.
Oh, God.
I still can't understand why it fell. The ironing board. I got really scared.
There's a dead woman here. I see her near the building. When we went outside, the woman's spirit was gone. But who was she and what children was she talking about? We understood, though, that the spirit was very aggressive and wished Kvitoslava death for some reason.
What's the matter? Hard to breathe?
Yes, I need more air.
Bring water, she felt bad.
Quiet. I hear some words. Find the dungeon, know the truth.
What dungeon?
I was shown the dead man who reaches to you from the underground. He clutches at your wedding dress and drags you down.
At the wedding, we were walking in the park and my dress got torn. I was simply walking, never stepping or tripping on something. Someone simply pulled at it.
It was him. I tell you, it was the dead man. Those were his dead hands. We had to go to the park, where he attacked her first.
Around here.
Everything looked a little different then.
That man, it was like he emerged from the underground.
As if there were a trapdoor there. I don't know. Has anyone ever been walled up here?
Our journalists found out that not long before Kvitoslava's wedding, one of the pathways of this old park collapsed. And remarkably, historians found an ancient catacomb in the gap.
This is the basement. From the basement, the catacomb starts.
It was later discovered that the catacombs extend beneath the entirety of the park. The locals say they sometimes see a ghost here.
A silhouette floating in the air.
Sometimes it's a silhouette and sometimes it's a shadow. But when you look that way, you see nobody.
One of the locals even filmed something paranormal. Watch. It's clear there's a strange silhouette moving here.
The man's spirit most probably emerged from the underground after the pathway collapsed. But why was he trying to drag Kvitoslava to the netherworld? I see a woman, she says. I'll show you where to find him. Come on.
Have you ever been here?
Not. It's my first time here.
The woman's spirit is pointing at this door. She vanished.
Hello. I was surprised. They're celebrities. You see them on TV every day, and now they're standing at your door. It was incredible to see the psychics.
We're helping this woman.
And the dead woman's spirit, it brought us here.
It's so eerie.
The artist has her workshop and studio where she teaches children fine arts in the apartment. It turned out she doesn't know Kvitoslava, but she allowed the clairvoyants to work in her apartment.
Have you seen anyone?
No, I haven't. But I feel something. I often hear someone open the door but never come in. and you feel cold down your spine as if someone's looking at you.
I often see something like a man's dark silhouette.
Look. It's a portrait of the woman who brought me here. But here she's a lot younger, and her hair's different. You didn't paint this face.
I was painting a landscape, but painted the face instead. It felt like it was painting itself, like
someone was controlling your arm?
Yes.
This is his mansion.
If the man we've been looking for...
One painting fell and then the other. We were all shocked.
I can't believe it. Whose mansion is it?
Baron de Chaudoir's, built in 1900.
We learned that Baron de Chaudoir lived in the late 19th, early 20th centuries and was a famous patron.
He supported artists. As a nobleman, he was wealthy enough to support them.
Did he paint?
Yes, he was an artist.
Over a century ago, there was the Baron's big mansion in the park, and this building was the only to survive to date.
Baron de Chaudoir. Is it his spirit that's haunting Kvitoslava? Yes, it's him.
The woman's spirit said we needed to find a dungeon.
Does this building have a basement?
There is a big basement here, and there are even underground tunnels extending from it. However, they're bricked up, but they're there.
The Baron's spirit was roaming the catacombs as if he were looking for someone but couldn't find.
I decided to check the basement. It was possible I could make contact with the spirit. Yaroslava, I see him. What's the matter?
We got so scared. Yaroslava fainted. She fell, convulsing, and couldn't breathe.
I simply saw the spirit. It felt like he was walking through me. He can't walk.
This is Baron de Chaudoir. His legs were paralyzed, and he used the wheelchair the final years of his life.
What does he want?
He says, I love her. He wants me to go there. To the painting. Anna. The cards told me it was the Baron's spirit that controlled Alina's hand while she was making this painting. He was also an artist. He was painting a portrait of a woman named Anna. Who's Anna?
There was a woman he loved and for whom he had this park built.
He showed you her face at the moment when he saw her for the first time. He owes her a lot. She kept the mansion, but she wasn't his wife. She loves him a lot, but he doesn't believe her. He thinks she's only around him because of his money. The man only realized the woman loved him after he became disabled. Anna didn't leave him, and so he decided to marry her, but he died several days before the wedding.
Anna Volta. She was about 15 years younger than Chaudoir. Tall, slim, she was a very attractive woman. After he ended up disabled physically, she showed him great care. Not long before his death, Chaudoir announced he was going to engage with Anna Ivanivna.
He's searching for his fiancée.
But I don't understand what I have to do with it.
He saw you in the white wedding dress. He thought you were his fiancée.
Oh God, I fear he'll be haunting me always.
These people loved each other so much that even after they both died, their souls spent a century to find each other. But who is the mysterious woman that is killing Kvitoslava?
Let's first finish with the man and Anna. And then we'll deal with that woman. You see, the cards are showing that the fiancé is at peace, but the man is not. Wait! His bones were thrown out of his grave.
It turned out that in 1919, Baron de Chaudoir's remains were indeed thrown out of his crypt.
A so-called Civil War hero Bozhenko died, and somebody remembered the class enemy Baron de Chaudoir had died recently. So, they threw his remains out not far from the crypt and buried Vasil Bozhenko instead.
Anna and the Baron have been searching for each other for many years, but they can't meet because she's in the heaven, and he's stuck in between the worlds.
The clairvoyants and Kvitoslava went to the sport where, according to the historians, the Bolsheviks left Baron de Chaudoir's remains. The grave is obviously highly neglected.
The crypt was empty. I didn't see anything in there except garbage. But I had the feeling the Baron's remains were somewhere around.
A bone.
It was behind the brick.
It's a bone. It's really a bone.
We had to carry out a ritual to unite the souls of the lovers who were in different worlds. But first we had to cover the bones with earth and recite a prayer.
For the ritual, the psychics and Kvitoslava leave the graveyard's grounds.
I saw the lovers' souls unite in the flames and rise together to the heaven.
He won't bother you anymore.
Her spirit's not leaving. She's genuinely grateful to you, she says. It's all because of her husband.
My current husband?
Yes.
What could it mean? Kvitoslava is in danger of dying because of her husband. But why? What kind of force is haunting her?
She's young. She's shouting, "He'll never be yours."
My husband had another wife who died. I saw her in a dream. She told me he'd never be mine.
What happened to her?
She was hit by a train.
No, she jumped under the train.
The awful tragedy happened in 2016. The woman was only 26.
Did she jump under the train because of you?
No, I didn't even know her. I met my husband after she died.
The woman's spirit is haunting Kvitoslava because of her husband. We needed to talk to Alexander.
Kvitoslava phoned her husband. He soon arrived to speak to the psychics.
What happened to your first wife that caused her to leap under the train?
I can't answer this question.
The woman jumped under the train 40 kilometers from Zhytomyr. She went there purposefully, and it seems she'd been planning to do it for some time. The couple spent 8 years of happy marriage. The man argues his wife had absolutely no reasons to kill herself.
She had 3 children, and I have 2 children. Please save me. I fear for my life. I'm afraid to leave them all alone.
When Alexander's wife died, their children were little. Their sons had only begun to go to school, and their daughter was only 4.
She's afraid he'll know her secret. It's got something to do with money.
After her death, it turned out she'd had some debts, of which he didn't suspect.
My cards told me that Alexander's wife was lured into a sect where they cheated money out of her. Not only did she take loans from banks, but she also borrowed money from other people.
The people she borrowed from threatened her to kill her children.
But what does Kvitoslava have to do with this?
When I saw her in my vision, she clearly told me the kids are alone.
Did you leave your children?
They live with their grandma, my mother.
Her spirit wants to get rid of Kvitoslava because it thinks she's the reason her husband left their sons and daughter.
When Alexander's children saw Kvitoslava for the first time, they thought their mom returned because she looks like her a lot.
When they saw me for the first time, they shouted, "Mom!"
The children must have a family. They must communicate with you and be with you because you're their father.
Now I understand. will love and raise all of our children.
Thank you for helping us settle everything. The children's welfare matters most of all, and we'll take care of them. I know they'll live a good life with me, and I'm going to love them.
Unbelievable. The family has finally come to the seemingly obvious conclusion to take the children to live with them. If only they hadn't needed such eloquent hints from the netherworld. An investigation that will chill you to the bone. 3 young beauties died one after another in a small village. Don't miss out. The psychics will uncover the truth. Zakarpattia, Ukraine. Millions of tourists flock here every year to admire the beauty of the mountain slopes. But on October 26, 2017, amidst this incredible scenery, the mutilated body of a local teenage girl was found.
The body of 14-year-old Ivanka Savchuk was found in the river. Death was caused by internal organ injuries. The police investigators immediately opened a criminal case for intentional murder.
Her chest was crushed, and 4 teeth were knocked out. I don't know what or how it happened. No one knows anything.
The news of the schoolgirl's brutal murder quickly spread and shocked the locals. People don't understand who, or more importantly, why someone would kill the girl.
I can't bear the pain. I'd rather be lying there instead of my child.
She was very open, sincere, and kind.
She was very artistic. She sang and danced in the local ensemble.
Everyone in the village affectionately called Ivanka their little star. The young beauty dreamed of becoming a singer. However, this dream was never meant to come true.
It's so quiet in the house nowadays. No one laughs, no one dances. We miss her so much.
There wasn't a day she didn't say, "Mom, I love you." It's very hard.
The last person to see Ivanka alive was her elder sister, 28-year-old Marina. On the day of the tragedy, Ivanka came to visit her after school to look after her 2 little nieces.
My husband went to work abroad. She helped me around the house and babysat. My daughters loved her very much.
At around 8 in the evening, Marina asked her sister to go to the store to buy groceries. According to Marina, the store is about 400 meters from her home, so Ivanka was supposed to be back in no more than 20 minutes.
When she went, Dad came over and asked, "Where's the little one?" I said that she went to the store and would be back soon.
Several hours passed, but the girl never returned home. The family immediately raised the alarm.
I called her, but she kept rejecting my calls. When I dialed her the last time, her phone was off, and then we rushed to look for her.
Ivanka was nowhere near the store. Marina started calling all their relatives and friends, but all in vain. Ivanka seemed to have vanished into thin air. The people checked every corner of the village and questioned passers-by, and one of the villagers who lives near the place where Ivanka's body was later found shocked the family. She said she had heard cries for help a few hours earlier.
She was shouting, "Help! Somebody, help me, please!"
The police officers were surprised that the jeans Ivanka was wearing were completely torn.
Her pants were torn on her legs.
Perhaps the killer tried to rape the girl, which would explain why she had so many injuries and her jeans were torn.
The investigators worked through a number of different versions, but none was confirmed. The psychics are now the family's sole hope.
I beg them. I pray for them to come.
Psychics Olena Kurilova and Olga Kalinova embark on the investigation of the case.
I had a strange dream about Ivanka. She was asking to stop the oath that brings death. I don't understand what it means.
I also had a strange vision of a young man and a girl. He was holding her hand and she had a ring on her finger.
Was that Ivanka?
Yes, it was Ivanka. But the boy wasn't putting the ring on her finger. He was taking it off, and as soon as he removed the ring, she fell dead. When I lowered my head, I saw 2 more dead girls lying next to Ivanka, and they both looked a lot like her.
Could it probably be a serial killer?
The psychics head to the house where Ivanka lived. Her mother, sister, and concerned villagers are already waiting for them there.
Hello.
We are terribly sorry for your loss.
We would really like you to help us understand what happened.
Ivanka, who did this? The card of love. The murder has something to do with love.
The killer of your daughter is a man.
He's like a maniac. He won't stop. There will be more victims.
I wanted to understand where the girl's killer was, but for some reason I couldn't get any information. This was the first time something like that happened to me. However, I felt that he had been stalking his victim. I sensed that before your sister's death, a man stalked both of you.
Yes, it's true.
Marina revealed that, a few weeks before Ivanka's death, a strange man indeed stalked them. He was quickly following them, and at one point, he even started running. However, she couldn't get a good look at his face.
He was tall and dressed in black. He ran after us and we barely made it home.
Wait, I sense that your daughter has been haunting you after her death.
I've seen her. I opened my eyes at night and saw her standing in the mirror.
She keeps coming to tell you about her death. To understand what happened to her, we need to summon Ivanka's spirit. Her spirit's here. She's standing next to you, Marina.
I suddenly felt hot.
Mommy? I didn't want you to turn gray.
I went gray that night. When I saw my reflection in the morning, I didn't recognize myself.
Hold on. She's pointing that way. Was she found there?
Yes.
We needed to go that way. Olena, this is the place from my vision.
The bridge has some connection to your daughter's death.
The police don't think it's a murder. They think your daughter jumped off that bridge.
They said that was one version, but they don't know for sure.
According to the family, one of the investigation's theories is suicide, as the injuries Ivanka sustained indicate she fell from a height. However, no one in the village believes she was capable of committing suicide.
I knew her very well. I don't believe she could have killed herself.
She was a believer and attended the church.
The local priest doesn't believe the police's version either. He refused to acknowledge it was suicide, and he buried the girl according to all church canons.
We need to check the bridge. The killer threw the girl from there. I see Ivanka here with a guy. They're arguing about something.
Stepan.
He loved her madly.
He cared about her a lot. And he even confessed to me once that he was planning to marry her someday.
I feel strong jealousy from that boy. There was a situation here, on the bridge, in which he simply lost his mind. He was yelling at her and threatening her. The boy keeps repeating the same male name.
Yes, it's Rolf. Stepan was jealous of my sister.
It turned out that the boy named Rolf also goes to the same church. That's where he met Ivanka.
We met when we helped our priest wife move things. Then we became friends.
Stepan was among the first people who the police suspected of Ivanka's murder.
They kept him at the police station all day long, and then called him back the next day for another interrogation.
This is what I see, night, darkness. And I see Stepan standing over your daughter's body, and there's no one around. What is that supposed to mean?
He phoned me and said that Ivanka was lying dead in the water under the bridge.
Did he say he found her?
Yes.
We need to talk to him.
This is horrific. Could the girl's boyfriend have murdered her so brutally?
Stepan, we're here because we're investigating Ivanka's death. You two dated, right?
Yes.
At that moment, the boy's grandmother came out to the psychics. It turned out she loved Ivanka a lot and dreamed that one day she would become her grandson's wife.
I was so happy. I was happy. They were planning to marry and live together.
Stepan, I feel that not only the police, but also the people suspect you.
You killed her. Did the people say it?
They did. Because of it, I can't even go to the church.
The cards told me that Ivanka's killer is a knight by the overturned chariot, meaning a young man who's connected to some accident. If you're not afraid, draw one card. The card said that Stepan was angry at Ivanka, and he was indeed torn by jealousy. But he would have never dared to kill. Moreover, I saw that he was sitting at a large table with many people at the moment of Ivanka's death.
According to the neighbors, Stepan was at home between 9 and 11 in the evening. And according to the forensic examination results, Ivanka died at around 10 o'clock.
Stepan is absolutely innocent.
Then, who is the young man who murdered Ivanka, and what is the strange accident he's connected to?
At that moment, I had a vision of the killer peeking into windows and seeing two girls. One of them was Ivanka, and the other was her sister. It felt like he was waiting, studying his victim, and couldn't decide which sister to choose.
Yes, it happened.
2 weeks before the tragedy, Marina's husband went abroad, and Ivanka was living with her sister at that time to help with the household and the children. But one evening, they were frightened by a strange knock on the window.
Something knocked on the window twice, and the curtain started moving.
But when Marina ran outside, she saw no one there.
I'm still scared. I can't go outside after dark. I feel like someone is following me.
The card showed that the murderer was looking for a victim who resembled some deceased girl. But who was she, and who is the killer? I needed to work near Marina's house. There's a woman's spirit here.
I'm having a strange vision of you lying next to this woman's dead body.
She says, I didn't mean to scare you.
That's my deceased mother. I was 9 when she died.
It turned out that Marina is Nataliya's adopted daughter. Her biological mother, Halina, died 19 years ago.
We were lying in bed together, me and Mom. And she had a sudden heart attack and died next to me in bed.
Her spirit is trying to help. She says the killer is like me. And she also says that we need to find another dead girl. She tells us to ask Yevhenia.
I am Yevhenia.
It turned out that Yevhenia is afraid she will die soon, and she has good reasons to say this.
People always told me that I looked a lot like Ivanka.
I feel that you see Ivanka in your dreams. She constantly warns about death. She says, you are next, and shows you a fresh grave.
Yes. She said it was for me, and now I am scared.
The killer seemed to choose victims who looked alike. And at that moment, I saw another dead girl. She had hanged herself.
Nadia.
Dear God, was she also your friend?
Yes, she was.
4 years ago, Ivanka and Yevhenia's friend was found hanged in her own home. Nadia did not leave a suicide note. For all the locals, her suicide remains a mystery to date.
It turned out that all 3 girls were from the same party, lived on the same street, and looked alike. And 2 of them died within a short period of time.
Nadia didn't hang herself for no reason. A man pushed her to death. Worst of all, his energy was identical to the energy of Ivanka's killer. Then I saw the spirit of another girl behind Yevgenia, the third victim. She looked at me and said, "He killed me too."
Yulia, my sister.
A death brought by the road. It's a car.
I see she wasn't alone in the car. However, only Yulia died.
Yes.
It turned out that, besides her two friends, Yevgenia also buried her elder sister. In 2016, Yulia and her boyfriend were going somewhere by car. The young man lost control on the slippery road, and the car went off the road.
But for some reason, she's holding her hands to her heart. She didn't die from the wreck itself, but from what she saw before her death.
Her heart burst.
It stopped.
She turned gray in a minute, right?
Yes. She turned gray.
According to Yulia's family, when her boyfriend looked at her after the crash, she was already dead. The ambulance confirmed she had a heart attack.
These deaths are all connected. There is someone who took all these girls to the other world. The cards say he killed them and is now hunting you because of his dead girlfriend. He kills those who look like her.
Your sister's spirit says we need to go to the bridge to learn the truth. Wait, she says we were on the wrong bridge. We need to look in another direction. Do you have another big bridge here?
Yes, we have, at the other end of the village.
Apart from the railway bridge, where the psychics have already been, the village also has a road bridge.
I see a beautiful young woman in a wedding dress with a slip knot around her neck. She hanged herself. She was the killer's fiancée. This girl took her own life. And you know her. She also looks very much like you.
Lesia. She also hanged herself. It was in either 2014 or 2015.
It turned out that Lesia lived on the same street as her deceased friends.
The killer is her boyfriend. Who did she date?
Ivan.
Hold on. He's indeed the murderer.
That's who's been killing the girls. We need to find him.
It's impossible. He's no longer alive.
Yes. Ivan crashed. He died in a car crash.
The young man sped and lost control. The car hit a pole, and he died on the spot. It happened right next to the road bridge, where the psychics are now.
There you have it, the night by the overturned chariot.
But wait! His death happened before all those girls died. How is that possible?
The cards say that the young man's death caused his fiancée's suicide.
It turned out that a year after Ivan died in the wreck, the girl he dated committed suicide.
On the day of Ivan's death, the following year, she sat at his grave for a long time, and then people said that Lesia hanged herself.
So he took the girls to the other world after his own death. Meaning Ivanka, Nadia, and Yulia were killed by his spirit.
A shocking revelation. The deaths of the three friends were caused not by a living man, but by his spirit. But why did he do all this?
When they were alive, Lesia and Ivan swore to each other that they would always be together. But this is impossible because his fiancée killed herself, and she is in another parallel reality. She is tied to the place of her death, and he is searching for her but can't find her. So we needed to stop the oath.
I had a strange dream about Ivanka. She asked to stop the oath that brings death.
He's looking for a fiancée, you see.
Ivan's spirit took your friends to the other world because they looked like his fiancée and lived nearby. Ivanka was the recent victim of Ivan's spirit. She was on her way from the store, walking on the bridge, and suddenly saw him. He seemed to reach out to her. The girl got terribly scared and stepped back to the railing, but she slipped and fell. Ivan is suffering greatly because so many girls have died because of him. We need to stop this.
I need to carry out a ritual. I summoned the spirits of Ivan and his suicidal girlfriend and briefly united their souls. Through wax, I transferred their oath of eternal love to a lock and then locked and sealed it. Then I buried the key in the ground. And sank the lock in the water so that no one could ever open it again. Now this oath is no longer active, and the young man's spirit won't harm anyone.
Thank you.
I feel a lot better.
What an incredible story.